was quick. So I'm sure everybody still wants to see more city business done. So at this time, I will call to order the Stillwater Economic Development Authority meeting for February 5th, 2024. First up on the consent docket. Questions, comments, or action on consent, trustees?
Motion to approve the consent docket.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve consent. Please vote. The vote of 5-0, the consent docket is approved. Under item 5, we have presentation of our quarterly economic development report from the Stillwater Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Ms. Zanotti. I don't get to call you Counselor or Vice Mayor Zanotti anymore, do I?
No. Good evening, trustees. Elaine Zanotti with the Stillwater Chamber of Commerce. Wanted to let you know that this report tonight is going to be a little bit different in the fact that we do not have a current economic development director. And so you are stuck with me as far as the presentation. One of the things that I'm going to talk about in my report are some strategic thoughts and plans for the year moving forward as far as how this report will be given, and just some benchmarks as we look at the contract with the city and with the Chamber of Commerce. For the group that's sitting over here, when we do economic development in the city of Stillwater, we actually have a contract with the city of Stillwater with the Chamber of Commerce to do economic development, because 9 times out of 10, a business wanting to locate to a community doesn't necessarily want to deal with these lovely people right off the bat. The Chamber really is the front porch into any community, and so we're the ones that kind of greet them and give them kind of that overall view of the community. And then as they really decide they want to be a part of this, then that's where their expertise and their knowledge on city utilities, water, all of that come into play, and that's how businesses get going. So I'm responsible for ensuring that the money they give us to help them do their job goes where it needs to go. So one of the things that we did in the last part of last year was finish up a program that came about when I was doing 100 visits in 100 days to small businesses, Small Business University. One of the things small businesses said was they have their idea, they've opened their doors, that business is going great, and all of a sudden they haven't thought about, I have no idea what I need to do for marketing. I don't have a big marketing budget. I don't know if I need an attorney. How do I do payroll? So the Chamber decided this was a perfect opportunity for the Chamber and Economic Development to partner and collaborate and work with Meridian Technology Center, Oklahoma State University Small Business Development Center, and the Chamber to put on a 6-session, 12-week program for small businesses who have opened their doors, as well as individuals who either were thinking about starting a business, or some of the businesses actually were going to try and branch out from what they currently had. So we did that, and what we did was for each session, there was a topic, and we started from anything from you think you have an idea, so how do you do a business plan, to social media. How do you use social media? It's very different from your personal social media account than your business account. Payroll, finance, and then we partnered with area businesses that maybe had gone through a challenge with that, and then a professional who did that. So for example, for social media, we had our own Grace Welch with the Chamber of Commerce talk to them about how to do your business account. And it was, we had probably about 15 people there. We had 25 people that came, and then it kind of fluctuated depending on the topic. We didn't expect everybody to be there every time. It was really designed to be what met their need and what they needed the most. The goal at the end was for those individuals who perhaps had a business idea to have a viable business plan in place, and for those who already had a business open, maybe have some more support and contacts with them in order to make their business successful. We had, our last session was judges came and judged their business plans, and then based on some funding we got through the contract with the city, and then some the Chamber had, we did a $4,000 scholarship to the business that was selected by the judges. And the judges were Daniel Thrasher, incoming chair for the Stillwater Chamber of Commerce Board, Andrew Ranson with West Watkins Center for Innovation and Development, Melissa Wiles, who is owner of Whispers, small business here, and Pat Crane, who works for Meridian Technology Center. And so the judges were very, very pleased. Great program. You have to start something once to see what works and what needs to branch out, and so we're going to tweak it. We're actually going to break 2 groups up. It was a great thought and theory to try and do those that are wanting to start a business and those that already had a business together, and some of those topics do blend together, but there really is a special need for those that are trying to start a business and those who already have a business. And so, but we had to start somewhere, and it was a really, really positive. So we were very, very excited about that. It also was a way to connect with the individuals who have the knowledge. The chamber is not the one that stores all the knowledge. It's the chamber's responsibility to reach out and connect with those that do. And so we were proud about that. The other thing we did last part of that, of 2023, we worked with the Department of Commerce, who gave us a grant to have a company called the Site Selection Group come in and look at an area potentially for development in Stillwater. And they chose the west side of the airport. And they did a wonderful study, spent a lot of time, had a lot of good information, came back and presented to us. But as Reagan and I were talking about, we need to have one more step in this, we invited them to come back to the December Economic Development Committee at the Chamber and present to them the information. To me, that's another layer of touch points that needs to happen with economic development. As we talk about things that need to happen in Stillwater, we need to have some intentional touch points with individuals and businesses that can make a difference and maybe give input. For those of us who see it every day, it's nice to have a set of fresh eyes look at it. And so very, very good positive feedback from that committee meeting, and it led us to believe that that's a good way to do. We also are going to work with the Site Selection Group to perhaps do some marketing for the Commerce Place land that's still left that the Chamber owns on Perkins Road. They're professionals in that, and I think it's a good step in that direction. The other thing that happens when you're doing economic development is we have had a lot of interest in the Armstrong facility, which is good because that has been empty for a while. I think part of that is due to U.S. Air Rare Earth, and then I think it just seems to happen towards the end of the year. We had a lot of RFPs, so I learned how to do an RFP and sent in 3 specifically for the airport, and thanks to Brady and the city team who actually helped me learn how to do all those spreadsheets and things like that. Want to give a shout out. One of the things that I'm excited about is we partner very closely with Oklahoma City Greater Chamber of Commerce. We're part of a regional partnership that includes a 10-county range, and these are the 10 counties that we specifically look at working together when we talk about economic development. So when the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber gets information about a business that wants to locate potentially in Oklahoma, due to the information that we share with them as far as what land is available, what buildings are available, what our population is like, our community, they are actually able to disseminate and send us things that make sense to us rather than getting an email full of things that don't make sense to our community. So I find that very, very, very positive. One of the things we haven't grown as much is our Tulsa partnership, and so I'm actually going in a few weeks to do the Tulsa Regional Partnership to think about ways that we can also do on the northeast side of the state and think about ways that we need to do that, and so I'm looking forward to that. The other thing that I'm excited about is I actually am able to announce that we actually have hired a new economic development director. Yes, I want to give a big shout out. When I took this role a year ago as the Chamber President and CEO, my wheelhouse is not economic development. I do believe strongly that that is where economic development needs to be housed in the Chamber, but the Chamber needs to go alongside the city and the economic development in collaboration and partnership in order to drive what's happening in our community. And so I asked Brady Moore and I asked Justin Hazard to help be on the search committee with me because I felt they gave great lenses into interviewing and candidates and applicants. So we went through and we actually have offered it to a woman named Carrie Moore. She lives here in Stillwater. She has been very, very instrumental in a company called Empire Roofing that is based in Oklahoma but also has expanded into Kansas thanks to her vision for expanding business and being able to think creatively when it came to COVID and how you do roofing in COVID. One of the things that I loved about her, and Brady can probably attest to this, is I truly think she wants to be a part of transforming this community and being instrumental in the impact that we have going on with economic development, and I think she is the right person. She's going to start with us on Monday, February 26th, and I look forward to bringing her to the next meeting to have you guys meet her. The other thing I want to talk about as we think about this new year is strategic planning and thinking about things that are happening economic development-wise. Our community is on a roll. We're on a momentum. And I think it's so important that our community is seeing the things that are happening. And I think, as the mayor said, putting shovels in dirt is important. You know, we can talk about things that are coming, but until the shovels get in the dirt, it's hard to think that's happening. I think we're starting along that route, and I want us to be continue that momentum. But I also want to be able to relate and tell Stillwater's story in the way that it should be. We are a unique community. We are different than Tulsa and Oklahoma City and Enid and all of those. And so how do we tell our story? I know that previously we've talked about a Grow Stillwater website, and I think that we are looking at delivering that. That's part of our contract with the city, but I want to think about doing it in a different manner. And once we bring Carrie on, I want to see how that looks. I don't believe having one more website for an entity to look at is where we need to go. I want to create something that if you click on Visit Stillwater's website, you click on the City of Stillwater website, you click on the Chamber website, you get the same information about our community, and it tells the consistent and same story. We want people to know what our story is, and so creating that and having that information is what's important. I kind of shared that story a little bit with Oklahoma Regional Partnership, and they said that's probably where we need to be going. They actually house a website that has all of the land and businesses available in the 10-county region. I don't see us having to, and want us to share our information with them, so I don't see reinventing that wheel. So I'm hoping that by the next time that we meet, you will able to see something that is a wonderful touch point into what our community and our story is, and be one more thing we can use in our wheelhouse for economic development. So I will stop there and answer any questions you guys may have.
Thank you, Elaine. Trustees, any questions?
Not a question, but a comment. You moved fast on getting a new director of development. Good job on that. I'm glad you that didn't drag out. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, thank you to Brady and Justin. I was very serious about if we didn't have the right people in the pool of candidates we interviewed, then you would see me up here again in the next quarter, because I think we need to have the right person, and I think it was just good timing. She's going to be a great fit.
Thanks.
Thanks, Elaine.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you being here.
You bet.
Are you going to throw her into the next one? Okay. Next up is item 5B, which is to consider recommendation from the Stillwater Reinvestment Plan regarding an implementation policy committee recommendation. But I think we have a key person missing tonight. So Brady, let us know.
Yes, the developer for this project was very apologetic. He wanted me to pass that on to the mayor and the council, but he could not be here this evening and requested that we postpone this item and bring it back to you all on February 26th at our next meeting.
Okay, I don't think we need a motion or anything to that effect, so we'll look forward to seeing that on the 26th. Any reports from the officers of the board? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
A motion and a second to adjourn. CETA, please vote. The vote of 5-0, the Stillwater Economic Development Authority is now adjourned.